in this tutorial we will basically cover the customer API endpoints that we provide. And for the prerequisite of this video is that you should have already watched the authentication video and how to authenticate yourself to get the access token. So moving on, assuming that you have already watched that and you have your access token with you, let's go to the documentation part. And here you can see that we have created a diverse and detailed documentation regarding the customer module and all the regarding endpoints that you would need to operate with customer module. So let's say the first endpoint is to get a list of all the customers, and in my case I already have my Postman collection open here, and I have already obtained the access token. And now I will go to the customer folder and I will go to this get list of customers. And when I click on the send, you don't need to do anything else. It does not require anything else. This endpoint specifically, when you click on send, you will basically get the list of all the customers that you have. So you can click on preview and you can click on data, and it will provide with list of all the customers that you have. And when you go to the customers tab, you can see these all customers will be available through that endpoint. Okay, so that's about it regarding this endpoint. When you go to the store a new customer, this endpoint is useful because it is used to create a customer, and you can create a customer so that you can associate a subscription or an invoice related to that customer. So we already have shown all the payload and response samples that you will get through this endpoint, but let's move on to the Postman collection for a better view. So here, as you can see, we need to go to the body, and I already have this form that I have already unselected the fields that I don't need. I have already selected the fields that are required. So here I will fill in the value, let's say James the rate. I will fill in the sample value, and then I can do James, and for the currency, in this case I will just use USD. So when I click on send, it should ideally create a customer, and let's say it has created a customer, and its name is name, and it already has email associated with that as well. So when I go to the customer on my UI and I refresh this page, it should create a customer with name James on it, and the email is also provided. I did not provide anything else, so that's why these fields are empty. So once you have submitted the post request for creating a new customer, you will get the detail of your customer, and in our case I will copy the ID so that I can use in the reference for future endpoint testing, and it will tell you all the details like what was the name and the emails and everything that has been associated with that customer. So I will go to the next endpoint, which is update existing customer, and here I have already pasted the ID for that customer, and I need to go to the body tab. I can see that I already have these endpoints that I can update. So in my case I just need to update the name, so I will remove all the other ones and I will update to James update test, and when I send, it should update the name of our customer. So let's wait, and it did indeed updated the name, and the email, everything remained the same. So I can go to our UI and I can basically refresh the UI, and as you can see that this name has been updated on our UI as well. So the next endpoint is, we have covered the store a new customer, and the next is the retrieve a new customer. We can basically go to this endpoint and we can replace the ID here, and we just need to submit this, and just as it should return the data of our customer and along all the associated links like email, taxes that are associated to our customer. So I'll get this, and we have covered retrieve a customer, update existing customer. We have already covered that. Our documentation also shows what will be the sample outputs that we will receive and the payloads that we should send, an example payload. You can use that as well. The next thing is to delete an existing customer. So in that case, as our document also suggests, that remove a specific customer from the database, and this operation requires customer ID in our URL. So let me enter the ID and delete the customer that I have created just now, and when I click on send, it should delete our customer. So it deleted the customer, status 200, and we have received the customer that we have deleted, the info of that customer, and when I refresh our UI, this customer should be deleted. So yes, as you can see that this customer has been deleted successfully. The next thing is to go to this and get related list of customers. So in this case, this endpoint is useful to get related list of which is called, let me open up a customer, and this is detailed view of a customer, and in this specific customer these are related list which are modules associated with that customer, like product, subscription, invoices, transactions, and stuff like that. So let me copy this ID, or I could just copy it from here. So let's say I go to the URL and I will replace the ID with this. Now I need to enter the module to which related list I want. So I accidentally removed the slash, so I want the subscriptions of this customer. So when I enter, it should give me the data of that customer and give me the data of the subscriptions that this customer have. So this can be on a list, so it can give you multiple subscription if that customer have multiple subscriptions associated to it. So as you can see, I have this subscription name that I've received. So when I go to the UI and I check on the subscription that this customer have, this is also the same. So we can successfully verify that this endpoint will fetch you all the subscriptions that this customer ID have. So let's say I want to get the invoices, I could just type in invoices instead of subscriptions, and it will fetch me all the invoices to that related customer. The next endpoint can be useful to get filtered list of a customer. So in this case, let me go to the API documentation, and so this says that one field is required, which is, and it need to be passed through query parameter, which is to enter the field name and the value through query parameter that you need to filter on. So in my case, let's say I have this customer and I copy this customer and I want to basically filter on this specific value. So I will do this name and this. So when I enter, this should filter out from all the customers that I have, which are 45 entries, and fetch me the customer that I only have this name. So as you can see, I have only received one value. So this is, I've received only one data value, and this endpoint can be useful to filter on a specific field. And similarly, we have another endpoint which is to filter customer with nested conditions like equals, not equals, chart, ends, contains, and such things. So currently I only want to test the equal. So let me close other tabs as well, and I have this. So I have currently unselected all of the query params that I don't need, and here it says that I need to pass using this format, which is to use it such like that. So I want to basically filter on name and it should be equal to this value. So when I do this and I send it like this, it should fetch me the customer that have name equals to this. And this can also be used when, let's say, I want to fetch me all the customer that contains only the test name. So I will go here, and similar to above, I will use filter, and I want to get the list of customers that have name that contains test keyword. So I have basically done this. So let's say I wanted to filter on customer number, so I would use customer number instead of that. Let's say I wanted to filter on company, I would basically just come here and enter company name here, but in my use case I want to filter it on name, and then I will come here and type test, and when I do this, it should fetch me all the customers that have test keyword associated to it. So as you can see, preview, and it have given me 41 results. And when you come to the UI, you can do exactly the same here. Contains test, apply filters, and as you can see, it has given me 41 entries as well. So this can be useful to give multiple conditions, like you can enter multiple conditions if you want to suggest that I want all the customers that have filter name that contains test keyword, and that have company equals to something like this, and it should fetch all the customers that have that contains the test keyword and have company's value exactly equal to company keyword. So this can be useful. So that's about it, and we have covered all the major endpoints related to the customer.